Feels like I've been away from you for a while because I've been involved in a project at home and taking a lot of my time and efforts and been working late and stuff. So I apologize to you again. I've got so many good questions here, but I do resubmit them. I'm going to have just about 20 minutes is all with you this morning, and I hope I find every one of you happy, healthy, and kicking butt. Yeah, it's an issue. We're all stabbing at it here, it's just, we wax and we wane, and it's just, just everything going on. I think it is on this planet, but it is sure great to see you and talk to you again via the videos. I need 2 hours to start off with on the cancer video. I'm next appointment that doesn't show, that's dedicated to my first, where we're going to compact these videos into, kind of lumping different problems into each video so it's easier for you to look up and stuff. But thank you so much for us. Chris is out today. Now there's a guy that needs to eat good right there. Got to shake Chris and Drew. You guys get down on them now, because they need to eat raw. I don't know what it is. I have a hard time doing that with those guys. Anyway, this is with eczema. The more protein I eat, the worse it gets. Hello. Just learning some of the things I've learned through the years. And, it's hard to remember when someone says protein, all the reasons why one doesn't do protein diets. And there's a slew of them. Maybe someday we'll do just one video on protein and all the big reasons why no. It'll be a short one, but, people keep having this problem. And I'm taking raw vegan proteins like hemp seeds and spirulina. Well, you know what? Who is this here? This is Canadian War Dog God. Yeah, that's what I found too. Even in spirulina, that's why I don't use palm scum in my superfood blends. People have a thing for palm scum. People have a thing for everything: urine, palm scum, mushrooms. Well, good old mushroom once in a while. My theory was that I wasn't breaking down the proteins and my body reacted to them, but I could just be that protein is a huge lift. Protein isn't, we're not a protein species. Neither are herbivores. Herbivores and frugivores in particular are the furthest away from protein consumers there are. It's obvious. It's obvious when you look into nature. It's obvious, and it's like people, the problem comes in with the intellect again. We overlook the obvious and the simplistic for the intellectual, which is just a bunch of jargon, in my opinion. But it could, the eczema will go away on either a high fruit diet or a high nuts and vegetable diet as long as the protein is low. Yeah, ditch the proteins. Plant fats don't seem to clog up my lymph because my acne goes away. Yeah, plant fats are fatty acids, essential fatty acids. No, should never worry about that, So yeah, Canadian War God, you did right on, man. I actually thought the same thing about you guys are right on. I mean, we've had a lot of misinformation about proteins, and we're coming out of the gladiator day. Yeah, if you want to be a gladiator, you better pump the protein, have a short life, and really lose your kidneys. This is a repost. I used to think that I was allergic reactions until I watched your channel. If I didn't eat, skip breakfast or lunch, I would have lots of clear urine with urgency. Maybe 4 times an hour. Ooh, for an hour or two. This might happen from eating too much fruit. Let me see here. I must have something very nasty inside of me. Lou! Rhymes with zoo. It's possible. You'll never know till you see what keeps going. See what comes out, man. You just never know what's in there, I mean, I've seen some gnarly stuff coming out of people, and it's like, oh my God, and it's like, some of you have already gotten out some gnarly stuff. Look at Centron. I mean, you guys are really kicking butt. I think it's cool to keep digging in and see what you can get out. I think that should be part of a motivating factor. How deep can you dig? How much can you get out of you? What's in there? Stephen King. This would make a good Stephen King. The The detox monster. 132 nice. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, all. Dry skin brushing. I don't brush anything to the heart. Let me tell you. I don't believe that's appropriate. I believe that we have kidneys that'll do quite fine. I think when the theory of pooping in the kitchen goes away and they finally understand the role of the kidneys, things will be better with that. But thanks, 132 nice. Thank you. When you talk about blood glucose, inflammation, candida on a high fruit diet, it gets so confusing because I'm also listening to Dr. Clements. Well, stop listening to Clements and his views. Make scared to become a fruitarian. Oh my God. You know what, I'll have to say that I disagree totally with this gentleman. This gentleman, in my opinion, has his own views. I think they're contrary to anything we know about truth, chemistry, and all that other stuff. This concept of squashing the fruits is just totally insane to me. And those want to live on vegetables, go right ahead. But my group is going to be down the fruit line. And just look at all you guys. Just read the YouTubes. And look at the people that move from vegetables to fruits. And look at how they're now kicking butt. Most of these people on the YouTube channel that's doing this are literally kicking butt. I am so proud of all you guys. I just can't tell you. Yeah, we have ups and downs. Yeah. We have the holidays. We have all this. But you guys, I can't tell you enough. You're the light of the world. That's all I can tell you. You guys are going forth. You're helping people. I couldn't be prouder. I think that, you all win a Heroes Award for going out there and helping everyone. People have no clue to the importance of all you guys and what you're doing out there. I do, and so does a lot of other high spiritual people recognize what you guys are doing. I'll tell you that much. But inflammation from fruit, excuse me, I mean, that's insane right there. And candida, that's a fermentation issue. Fruits are a ferment just like anything else, and in a fermentation issue, fungus is going to always be present in fermentation. Go a little deeper to causative factors, sugar metabolism. If you're having sugar metabolism problems, you're going to have it with glucose like fructose. Not just fructose. Fructose you're going to have less of a problem because it doesn't require insulin for those that are having either neurological type 1s or beta cell problems. With type 1s, yeah, you're going to do better on fruit, I guarantee you. Fruit does not, I don't care what people say, does not require insulin. Glucose is an insulin-dependent sugar, where fructose is a diffusion issue. So this is a battle, I guess, raging on between Dr. Clements and us here on the fruits. Well, all I can say is he doesn't have the experience we do, not even a fraction of it. And I don't know what to say. I think our clinic speaks for itself. You guys speak for itself. I was just looking at the vitamin mineral therapy at Hippocrates. It just shows you, how when you're using vitamins and minerals, you're back in the 70s. Get with it. Clemens, get with it and go swing back to your herbs like you're starting to use the herbs. Swing more. Get rid of vitamins and minerals. Crap. Waste of people's money. And the prices that I've seen these things go for at the Hippocrates, killer. And then they use the silver and, I just, you know what? Some people take a long time to get up to where the now is. That's all I can tell you. I plan on doing a fruit fast to heal my nerves in the spring. If you got a nerve problem, go now. Why don't wait? Once the nerves are healed, how long do I stay on 100% fruit? Well, I don't care. Whatever you feel. Listen to your intuitiveness, your inner guidance. Don't always be willing to have someone tell you. I'm laying out the foundation for you guys. You guys take off and you tell me how far you can go. You tell me what you discover, because when we all put our heads together, we are powerful and we are knowers. And I'm with you guys. My head's with you guys. I'm still not too old to learn. And so I welcome all our information here and working together. I certainly do. I've learned what I've learned. I'm just throwing it out there saying, look what we can do to this point, and look what you guys can do with it in the future. Unreal. I think you guys, you younger people that are doing this, you are the future in these raw foods and fasting. And if I can get enough of you up at these higher levels, then people like Dr. Clements either come up or fade away. Same with Gabriel Cousins. Either you come up to a higher level of understanding or you fade away. And starting with the kidney gallbladder, good. Lilac Festival, you go, sweetheart, and kick thy butt. This is somebody, thank you for that, Owen. Thank you, my friend. I will put some older people on here as I get them in here that are willing to sit up on the YouTube. You know, you got to get people that are willing to be filmed. But I will. I'll have fun with that. Again, we're a little cautious with the FDA, and we're not quite all our ducks in a row on the private club thing yet. But we're real cautious because, you know, I'm tired of always fighting for rights. It's a constant thing. And then I think Shannon was telling me that this one senator, I wrote this down. I'm going to have to tell you guys about it. A senator, we should seek to impeach him. This senator introduced a Senate bill, and I've got the House bill. Well, it's a House bill too, I think it's HR. But in relationship of, I guess similar to New Zealand, where they want to make all land, I forget exactly how they put it, but basically the government would like to own all the land, and so you can't grow what you want to grow and control growing and everything else. And I mean, what Shannon was saying to me was insane. So a senator that would put any unconstitutional bill like that forward should be arrested immediately and terminated from his job, impeached from his job, however, and then arrested. Because this kind of crap, the senators that, you know, you get these politicians that are out of touch with everything. These guys have ruined everything for America, and their narcissism precedes them. And these are bought and paid for scum. And this is what's happening. And they're taking people's rights away. They don't care. Well, you know, you're all going to have to stand up for your rights and everything else. This ought to be interesting. The next 5 years ought to be interesting. People like that senator needs to go to jail right now, spend some time, meditate, visit Buddha, and maybe go also talk to Christ for, say sorry for, taking people's rights away. I mean, this is just unreal. Sometimes you get fed up with it, you know, and you try to be detached from it. But when you've got a government gone wild, now that needs to be a new show. Government gone wild. Here is a hernia. Does anyone know what causes it? I might have this enough. It hasn't been diagnosed, but in case I do, my option is surgery. If you have a hernia, this is RENI. If you have a hernia, that's connective tissue weakness. Now, you could have specific cells that are weak in that area, let's say from mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, somewhere where they also have a weakness in that area, either from a parathyroid weakness, high acidic body, or they've had an injury in the past and then conceived and that weakness passed on. I don't know how that works in terms of trauma to cells. I know at the time of conception, obviously, the consciousness of the cells at that time are past, and that would include, in my opinion, trauma to tissue, where that tissue could be weakened a bit in genetic memories. Interesting thing. But you want to work on your parathyroid, move your lymph to get those acids out of those tissues, move those lymphs, and then pick up on that parathyroid gland. Interesting thing. But you want to work on your parathyroid, move your lymph to get those acids out of those tissues, move those lymphs, and then pick up on that parathyroid gland. If it's sticking out, bulging out, you might want to try and strap it if there's any way you can and hold it in. If it's not that bad yet, you want to honk on this or you have to have surgery. Because the problem with hernias is that, especially when they've broken through, you've got a lot of stress on tissue because people are walking and moving, and it doesn't, it's much harder to heal that way for sure than when you can, just like anything else, give it a little time to heal. But parathyroid would be really a thought on that. I had asthma this morning. I think it was commercially curry, spices, and herbs. Danielle, what? Qigong sorts it out. Wow. Gosh, that's a problem getting too healthy and too sensitive. Holy crap. Well, that sounds like a neurotoxin there, Danielle. That could be a neurotoxin, pesticide, herbicide, who knows? That could be commercially grown products there. You have to be so careful, especially those of you that have weak adrenals and are very sensitive neurologically. Me, myself, and I'm very sensitive to neurotoxins. It'll stop me from breathing, make me short of breath. Very interesting about the heat and weak nervous, absolutely. I have a dear friend who cannot handle heat and also has shot adrenals. Yeah. That's, heat is acidic, and most people are very acidic anyway. And, when you're alkaline, the heat bathes you and you love it. But when you're very acidic, this is a problem, especially neurological, That's why you have to be careful with these cold sheets. We don't realize kind of like Richard Schultz's cold sheet treatments, but that's you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. You got to know when to use things. It's like a highly depleted elderly person. You're not going to fast them on water. I mean, there's some things you got to be real smart about and work them through these areas. Before you slam them too hard into these high areas. You guys are standing on the top of the mountain. This is the power hog of them all. I'm sorry. You guys are seeing that already. And you get way out there. I mean, way beyond what these people on this planet know. So just hang in there and just walk with balance. Just remember that. Teach yourself balance. And you're losing balance when you can't work with people anymore. You got to key in balance and respect where they are and say, I was there one time, or there's time when I was unconscious about this, and respect them where they are and help them through these things, because we are massive ignorance. Just like this thing with Dr. Clements and fruit. I mean, I'll concur that we have the worst fruit on the planet. I concur that we're using high nitrogen. Here's this nitrogen again. Here's this protein again. Here, let's pump these plants up, and then let's pick this fruit unripe. Absolutely, I'll concur any day that we suffer from a lack of quality. But even at that, the difference between Wellville on fruits and Wellville on vegetables is night and day. This ridiculous concept of candida. Use a herbal antifungal and get it out. Move your lymphs too, because if you have heavy fungal in the nails or toes, you're not going to clear it up with just an antifungal. You want to move your lymph system, and an antifungal is not colloidal silver. It is not isolated elements. It is definitely using the herbs. They're far better for this kind of problem. And, by the way, fix your adrenal glands so you can metabolize sugars properly. This all goes into the heat there. Actually, still with stress, child. I really want to help them get strong. Got help on order. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks you. And, boy, look at how sensitive you were with that curry. Wow. This is a question that I am reposting. Please let me know if I should steep the Heal-All tea or if I should simmer. You know what? You could lightly simmer it. Just before the boiling stage is what I like. Just enough to heat it up. The problem is when you're dealing in roots, and barks, they need to be boiled. The leaves and flowers don't need to be boiled. They can just use that simmer just before the boiling. But the roots and things, so a little boiling might have to do with the Heal-All tea there. But, 5 minutes or so And you can kind of keep it just at that line before that, to be honest with you. So thanks, Brenda. Appreciate that. And sorry, I had to repost these things because, you know, it's just that we're way out of line. And it's just that there's so many things in my life going on. I so surely apologize to you. There's so much I want to do with this site, but I had to have a few days of R&R, and you know, I had to rip out a kitchen in a house that Kathy owns, and you know, she'd water and mold, and I had to rebuild her house. So it's been a lot of work, and I had to do that on the side and all this, and so I apologize. Is that me? Yeah. So just steep it like that, and you know, it's funny that you can boil herbs and you still have an incredible medicinal value to them. I can't say enough about, you know, the supreme being and the herbs and, you know, creation. I mean, on one side. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut this and go. It's on. Okay. All right. I'll catch up with them again on this. Drew, say hi.
All right, I have to
say hi, Drew. Oh, listen.
What's going on?
You want to take this camera and go in and answer all these questions? I don't know why you don't.
Pretty soon, I want to do another. You can't see me. Pretty soon, I want to give another tour of our office so you can see everybody.
Is it new?
Not necessarily, but for those who did not see it.
Oh, that's true.
Because you've done
I was like this.
You've done so many videos. Since.
Well, we got a whole load of them more, but I'll catch up.
Your 10 o'clock is on the phone.
Okay, so let's turn this off now, and what we'll do is just pull it to the side, because if I can keep adding to this, I'll add to this today, and then if I have a 2-hour frame, don't fill it, and I'll shoot our video on cancer and stuff.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, if someone doesn't call in, you know, keep it open, because I want to run that video. All right.
See you soon.
Thanks. I'm back at it, so I'm going to keep recording today. If I get through with a client sooner, then I'm going to fill in that spaces and try to get us caught up here, because I'm anxious to get started on these specific videos on specific subject matters. Okay, listen, this is Mr. Organic. It's a resubmitted question. I apologize. Thank you so much for resubmitting that. I'm finally ready to full commit to my health and once and for all overcome my battle. I know I told Whit I'm not eating for 10 more years. So I'm going to do a video, and then I'll see you in 10 years from now. I've been watching you. Thanks so much there, Mr. Organic. For 1 month and a half since started in organic raw fruits and vegetables. I'm pleased not to have any major illnesses. Good man. I'm currently 300 pounds, and my goal is to lose 100 pounds. You can do it pretty easy. I fasted a girl 75 days on fruit juices, and she lost 100 pounds in 75 days. It was amazing. And she had all she wanted, but it was all fruit juices. Started out with a lemon juice fast, and we kept moving her. I was actually fasting her to break her lymph nodes loose, not to lose weight, but she lost 100 pounds. Pretty cool stuff. My questions are, which herbs do you recommend to really make my body efficient at moving the toxicity out and assisting with weight loss? Well, there's no question that you want to get your kidneys and adrenals. The adrenals, you got to bring your adrenals up. That's sugar metabolism. That's key in obesity, is the adrenals. The second thing key, are you cooler or are you cold? That would be your thyroid. That would be another hit. That controls the rate of metabolism. The slower the metabolism, the more sluggish your digestion, the more weight intensive it can get. Adrenals number one. Of course, then that's a connection to the kidneys and then to the giant lymphatic system. So always move on your lymph. So I'd go after my adrenals, I would go after my kidneys, I'd go after my lymphatic system. Clean up your bowels. Lymphatic 1 capsule, stomach and bowel number. If you want to take something for the thyroid, if you're a little cool, go ahead. But that's where I would work minimally, and especially with the endocrine glands. Any specific fruits? Well, I'm really just I love them all. I just can't tell you. The grapes are one of my most favorite in terms of detoxifying. Apples are certainly up there, but grapes are my number one. Fresh fresh, ripe, tree-ripe oranges, grapefruits. I love that. Lemonade, all of that stuff is detoxifying to the human body. Mangoes. I don't think there's not too many fruit that I don't like. There's not too much. Again, blueberries, all this stuff's excellent for you. Watermelon. I had a watermelon this morning. Believe it or not, I got a good watermelon. Not good, but better. Any specific fruits? Okay, such as the high water content? Absolutely. Do you recommend green juices mixed with fruits? No, I don't. A good question. You could. I think once you take the pulp out, the fiber out, you're okay. But generally speaking, I don't mix the fruits with the vegetable juices at all. I think they're too distinct. When you're savoring something, savor it for what it is. Don't get too crazy there. I think the more spiritual you guys get, you're gonna sense the too many mixes is too confusing to the consciousness. I'm telling you, it can get this sensitive. When you look at nature, you're most seeing mono-eaters. So I don't really get too much into mixtures. For me, my body can't tolerate too many mixtures. Cruciferouses. I'm real sensitive. So most of these health foods I can't eat. To me, they're not healthy. Everybody wants to make all these kind of vegetarian dishes and stuff, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, I guess that's people that like to mess in the kitchen and stuff like that. Not me. I'll cut up a bowl of fruit, thank you. That's all I need, or a salad. But I don't get tired of food that's really good. So I never get tired of fruit bowls. I never get tired of salads. I don't have this desire to have all these exotic dishes and stuff. Half of them give me gas and don't combine well in the body. And a lot of restaurants use cruciferouses. I noticed that one natural food restaurant in Sarasota here used predominantly cruciferouses, and of course you got a lot of gas and stomach pains from eating there. And it's like, that's not what I consider health food. But man has to have that mind, and simplicity is hard for people to follow there. Man has to have that mind, and simplicity is hard for people to follow there. But I think if you use that, simplicity is always best. It'll help you in a lot of ways. I started a weight training regiment along with brisk walks for now. Is this okay while on an herbal detox? All that's fine on an herbal detox. Is get your kidneys filtering. I just have to keep saying this about exercise. Get your kidneys filtering so you don't create more harm or more pain. Those of you who are in pain know what it's like if you exercise and you're not moving lymph. I've heard you comment on that. Obviously, I've experienced that with my clients for years. That there's a time and a place, and when you're not filtering lymphatically, that's the time to really, that should be your focus. Always move those lymphs at all costs. Move those lymphs. That's key, because that's what terminates you. That's what makes you unhappy and pain and swelling and all that. I appreciate that. I hope I do inspire you. I really do, because you know what, Mr. Organic, you're going out there and kick butt, my friend. I look forward to sharing my progress. Thank you. I hope so. Go for it, Mr. O. Yes, you have truly shown me. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Mr. Organic. I love you, and you keep going. You sound like a right on, and that's what I love. People like Mr. Organic, you're just, moving in, tearing to it. They want to lose the weight, come down off of there and everything, and do it the right way and make it a health program. That's what you need to do, Mr. Organic. Keep your focus on health. Forget about the weight. Keep your focus on health. And just keep digging in. It's like, what other gnarly thing? I just talking to a sweet lady here. She had worms out of her for the last 2 years of every color, every kind. She had movement in her head, numbness in her brain, tingling in her brain. She could feel things moving in her head. And, going numb. Ugh. And she's much, much better today. But it's like every once in a while she'll feel a movement or feel, it's like, after being that parasitically involved, sometimes it does give you a freak out zone there, for sure. Brood Strange, a personal thank you to you too, Brood Strange. Say a personal thank you to for your life. Thank you. I apologize too to you too if I just cannot get to your questions like I would like. You know, I would like to someday do a lot more time dedication to this, to where I can help a lot more through this site. But I think with you guys coming on, I've seen your comments, you're helping each other. You guys are the new healers of the future. That's all I can tell you. I'm proud of every one of you. I am working through thoughts and emotional issues involving ego and my peers, family, and your various insights. Thanks. Interesting, you know, the mind and the id, the ego, and you know, just that the way creation is put together. I understand it, but what a trip, you know. But you know, when you look at that alone exists. I mean, that's all there is you and what you create. And, you know, I can understand the depth of that alone state because, you know, when the final bell tolls, it's only the Supreme Being that's left. And that means only you are left. And so, but then only I'm left. And then, well, only, so, you know, as one, we're the cool one. So, I hope that these things can be helpful to you. And thank you so much for your comments, Brood Strange. But keep working on yourself like that, and you know, you just keep putting everything in check, and always be vigilant of that id and ego, you know, and you just put it back in the corner, you know, because you have to have. I ran into this difficulty, and I don't know how many of you are, but when you're working so much in the now, you would think you're more disciplined, but you could lose that discipline because sometimes when I eat something, I forget that it kicked my butt, and so I'll go back and eat it again later on. I totally don't use my mind so much. So it does put you in a unique position in that if you're living in the now totally, the experience of the past isn't always right there. Now you can have your mind but the intensity of that, and sometimes it's difficult to explain. Self-discipline becomes a trip because you don't have the id. You're not using the id anymore, and so there's this kind of a space of allness and nothingness, and so it's very difficult to explain. It's very difficult to I don't know. It's harder to have self-discipline in certain ways because you're living so much into the intensity of the now that I don't know. It's just hard to explain. But you keep going there and keep watchful eye on the mind and the id and keep that out and keep dwelling in that eternal now and just give respect and love and humility to all life because there's no need. You're all that matters. And nothing else matters out here, and so we shouldn't have a reason to have a judgment toward anything. Respect that individual because we've all been unconscious. Any soul that's journeyed to this level, you know, we all have our periods of unconsciousness, and we have to respect others that have that as well. Frustrating sometimes because it would be get tiring to be on a planet and in a level where you don't have a mutual love and respect. I'm watching your comments on this, and I wanted to tell you about this. You guys are really developing just beautifully. I am watching how each of you are disagreeing with another, and you're doing it with love. Now, that shows the mark of true spiritual giants. And that's what you guys are. You're using love, and you respectively disagree. You see it this way, and I love your tones with you guys. Are just it's just fantastic. It's overwhelming to me. Right on, guys. Right on. Keep it up. Keep it up. This is Red Chicago. You are too. Oh, thanks. I'm sitting down and watching your videos on YouTube. Thank you so much. Appreciate love the bananas. Love that. Thanks for your comments there. appreciate all you great souls coming in on this channel. Thank you so much. Nicolette Lynn Music. Wow. So good to see you. Thanks. About the fast broken with the chicken burger. Yeah, that was funny. You have to admit, that made me laugh. Your happiness scares the pile. Thanks. Love you too, sweetheart. Thank you guys so much. Sometimes it gets stressful out there, but you know, sometimes you just gotta laugh at it all because it's and you guys can get funny. And you know, happiness is what we need, and the joy of life again, and the joy of feeling good again. And I think you guys are really part of a major shift, and this level is so needed. Just like the one question about Clemens. Sick of hearing about the Hippocrates and what they believe in. I don't care what Brian, he's got a right to believe whatever he believes in. Unfortunately, there's an X amount of time wasted between the time people go to Hippocrates that have serious cancer issues and coming over here. And I had one lady with a big tumor on her neck. She'd been with him 3 months and came over here and still there. Same size, too. So that gives you an insight that level of detoxification isn't adequate enough to do deep tissue work, especially with these advanced cancer people and tumors. So, okay, then you take a trip to the top of the mountain, and that's where you guys are all be waiting for everyone else at the top of the mountain. And we're here humbly to help you, or those that want to get up out of this this morass of protein and allopathic and pharmaceutical crap, and it's just a massive glob of unrealness. I don't know what to say about it, and be nice about it. Yasman. I was going to start a coconut fast. Do you recommend that I eat the coconut and meat? I do. I think you ought to take the milk and the meat and grind it up. Man, if you get that in between the jelly and the I'm way overripe in the grocery store, you get where you can pull the cone out. Ah, man, there's nothing like that nectar. I had someone in here the other day, one of the YouTubers, that loaded up on coconuts down in the Keys. And it's like, if you get in between those two, and those golden coconuts are incredible, but you get in between those two stages. The jelly for me is too unripe. I like to have a little meat, but I like that cone, that center cone. My God, nectar of the freaking gods. That is good food. This is from Ats Kramer. What do you think about making my own herbal concoctions? I highly recommend it. Absolutely. Are you kidding? Play with the herbs. Those are our buddies. Those are our friends. We should always know about herbs. We should have studied herbs since we were kids. Have herb farms that are much more involved. We're going to need them for the future. When man wakes up to what he needs, we're going to be looking around and not have a lot of fruit or herbs because everybody's going to go, I want them. So for those that are growing, the future is going to be fruits and herbs. I can tell you, because man's going to starve without fruit. You got to have fruit. If you don't have fruit, we're lost neurologically. We're going to be it's not good there. Let me see. I don't believe it will be possible to get God's herbs here in Israel. I think we can. I've talked to them about that without it costing a lot of money. Isn't that same Israel and the U.S. are supposed to be buddy? Well, what is that? What I want to do is to use your recipes, sure, and make a mixture of dried herbs. You can do that, and you can make them into teas. You can put them any way you want. Can you expand on the herbs and how to use? Practitioners can do it in countries abroad, by the way. So great for every day. The Supreme Being has brought me to... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tally Kramer. Thank you. You know what? Whatever I can do to help you guys in Israel, I want to do that too. In any country out there, I know some of these custom things are kind of ridiculous and real expensive. I know that Jennifer can help you to a certain extent with that. I'm sure you've talked with her, Tali, but you might want to talk with Jennifer and let her see what she can do to help you get them in Israel properly. If we can get them over there at a reasonable price, we'll certainly work with you on that. And maybe we can work something out where you can be a distributor and we can some new changes are coming to us here with the herbs. So stay with this. Stay with Jennifer with this. Call her and talk to her about this, and or email her and see what we can put up for you. Because if we can get them over to you as cheap as we can, I would like to see you do that too. But also play with the herbs in your country. Get them dried, fresh too, if you can. I've always wanted to do that, go to every country and take all their herbs and make them into some neat formulas for that country. There's just not enough time on the planet to do everything you want to do, and then the funds, of course, that's a big one. Global awareness. I like your name, bro. I just love a global consciousness that's not ran by the World Bank, A global consciousness of like-minded spiritual and healers would be incredible. In Lisbon, we always had these yearly symposiums, and all the top healers of the world would come together and talk and give lecture. And I loved that. It was fun to do, and it was I got to meet all the top healers around the world, and I really liked that. And I would like to see this country get more involved, but I don't know, we got some real thick skin to break through here. If what you suggest happens, then imagine all the babies and children just thrown out on the street or in the trash dumpster. I see your, oh yeah. If what you suggest happens, then imagine all the babies and children just thrown out on the street or in the trash dumpster. I see your, oh yeah, I see your point, but there are just too many sympathetic people that would take in these disposals. Well, we need that, I would love to see people, it's like animals. Instead of making a bunch more, let's take care of the ones we have, We just got to start looking at what we have and kind of getting ourselves together. We're just so individual countries now, and there's just so much. I mean, look at down in some of these countries where they actually shoot. All the kids are running on the street. They have no parents. People are shooting the children just to shoot them. I mean, this is a sick planet. I don't know what else to say. We need this planet needs a good colonic, and then start growing fruit trees everywhere and herbs everywhere. Because, man, we got some sick places here. I mean, it's amazing. And the politicians are just, they need to get in the back of the line and go back to school again. And I think the best thing for a politician is to spend about 5 years on a farm. I guarantee you, any of these politicians, Obama, any of these wackos, go out there and spend 5 years on a farm, I guarantee you they'll make a much better politician. That's what needs to happen. Just like someone taking in a bird with a broken wing. I agree. If America sinks into a third world country, then you will see more. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It might just do that too. I don't know. See how they're trying to crash the euro dollar? This is where the World Bank's going to start seeing a little propaganda there about a one world currency. This is their opportunity. They've been working for this to then slip in a one world new currency. We'll see. We'll see. You got these two powers pulling. Maybe we should just grind up the unhealthy babies into dog food, then they just sell, as you say. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, that's what they do to cows. They grind these cows up and then give them to the other cows. I never heard of anything like that, where you take Down syndrome cattle and you grind them up and you feed them to the other cattle. Cattle that are herbivores. They're the furthest away from the ability to handle meat in their digestive tract than any other creature on the planet. You would never give herbivores proteins. That would be insane. That's why you see the hoof and mouth and all these problems. I mean, this is major toxicity there. I don't know. We just, it is what it is. But thank you, Global Awareness. Of course, soul, you can't grind soul up. That's one thing. it's hard to understand the difference between consciousness and then all these little states of consciousness that make up the human body. It's hard to see life from a higher perspective and understand that this is just really a mirage. This is really just an illusionary world of matter, thought, and emotions tied together that actually mean very little. Something to do for the Supreme Being out of the bowels of aloneness, I guess. But certainly it is activity and things to do. Some of us need some rest to be able to get enough to go on for another fun time in the OK Corral. Okay, let me see. This is where we ask questions. Absolutely. And this is Try with MS. Spiritually, I awake fully and present in the now. That may be humble to you then. Probably as a result of my physical diagnosis, so I'm thankful for that now, that I should probably get my body fixed up a bit. Yeah, probably help. Dan, Life Regenerated, for me to you. It's a pleasure to meet you, my friend. I have a number of physical conditions. The most serious is an inoperable cancerous brain tumor, most probably an astrocytoma, also multiple sclerosis. Oh boy, you got a whole package, don't you, my friend? Eczema. Well, let's take them in the order of their easiness. Eczema, MS, and brain tumors, in that order. How can we contact Dr. Morse? My friend, should be a contact number on there, but yeah, you're going to want to really visit the top of the mountain on this one, my friend. Call us here and talk with you, or one of the, or Jennifer will talk with you with this. But if you got brain lesions or what, I mean, you're locked up here in the CNS, but you're also with the adrenals and kidneys. You can see your lymph system involved here. You can see your kidneys involved here. You can see your adrenals and the autonomic involved here. If you have brain lesions, you have any cerebellum issues, which is equilibrium, vertigo, it would just make sense that you could form a brain tumor from this real easy. Really want to clean up your bowels, though, and really get moving that way. If this is a picture of you, you're still standing maybe, you might be sitting in a wheelchair, whichever. Get up, get out, get that brain tumor out of there, get your body healthy. I'd really dive into this like diving from a high dive board and really tear this apart and get my body detoxed really powerfully, my friend. That's your only way that I know of personally that you can have success with this. I'm going to shoot a video on cancer, but basically it's going to be the same in terms, and we'll talk about brain cancers, but basically this is the lymph system. I mean, it's all location, location, location. The colon does have a blockage to the head area, so always work on the colon there. I would use lymphatic 1 capsules, stomach and bowel formula. I would do 2 kidney formulas, lymphatic 4 to start, lymphatic 3. I'd probably get more aggressive with the lymphatics after I see a little sediment in my urine. I'd probably go to 3 lymphatic formulas. I was just talking to a lady about that. Really kick that up a lot more, especially with the brain tumor out of there. You want a real good cold and flu-like symptom. You might want to candle your ears just to relieve some pressure up there and really get everything moving out of there. And then you'll be successful. Your lymph system is backed up big time. It's showing you this everywhere you look. And so hit this, my friend. You'll be successful. Don't take no for an answer. Understand why you got the tumor, how it's correlated with the MS and the eczema. See how that all correlates, particularly the eczema and the lymph system, and tear into this, my friend, and you'll be well. We'll be glad to help you for sure. I mean, don't sit there and take these things, or stand there however you are, and get this out, my friend. That's why I love testimonies. A little cautious with that, right now, but still, good for you there. Dave Wood, Indiana Banana. Dialysis. I know several on this hideous treatment. How do you coach them off of it? Good question. Well, you're going to see a lot more on it, let me tell you. I mean, the kidney failure, you guys are getting on the top and in front of in the line. Let me tell you, you guys are in front of the line when it comes to the awareness of kidneys in the lymph system, because it ain't out there. And you can prove it every time, as you guys are doing. So now they have to come up with their theories to match what we know to be true, what we see. This is what we see. When your kidneys start filtering, you see the sediment and your lymph tumors go away. We see this. You guys are seeing this. So now they have to come up to that. And you have a whole world that has to come up with that. And you're seeing this, like Indiana Banana saying, you're seeing kidney failure all over the place. And so this is really key. This dialysis is a very toxic experience. And you just really have to tear in. And the trouble is now, when you go on dialysis, now you see your potassium and your phosphorus having all kinds of problems. So then they tell you to eat protein. It's like protein, and you're worried about your phosphorus. This is an insanity issue. When you're on dialysis, if you're self-urinating, boy, you're in the best position you can be. If you stop urinating, you've got to get urinating. And dialysis kind of stops you from urinating. So it's like, oh my God. So it's a toughie, but you can get off of that. If you're self-urinating, I would move myself off of diet. If it was me personally, I would be getting away from there, particularly if I was asymptomatic. I wasn't sick. I didn't feel toxemia in the blood. I didn't feel that way. Are you kidding? Forget that. I would get my kidneys filtering and go right on down the line, because dialysis is a toxic experience. And sometimes people get trapped on it. I've had people tell me they were peeing until they went on dialysis, and as soon as they started dialysis, they stopped peeing. What's that? I don't know, but we can't have that, because you can't stop peeing. You've got to start peeing good. I know I had this one lady, she's, I don't know how she's doing now, but she's been on self-dialysis every day since she was 12 years old. And she had urinated, and we were talking about kidneys, and I did her eye, and I said, your kidneys look pretty good, but your bladder is degenerative. You have a bad bladder. She said, one medical doctor told me years ago that it wasn't my kidneys, it was my bladder. That was a smart medical doctor. So I don't know how he determined that, but he was a smart guy, because that definitely was what the camera picked up too. Big time bladder, but she wasn't urinating at all, and hadn't been since she was age 12, and she was 20-some when I met her. Overweight, sick all the time. She lost her weight, feels good, and she's ongoing. I don't know how she's doing now, but people can't stay with you for years. I mean, it's unaffordable, and we've helped her out as much as we could, and she was kicking butt. No more sickness, no more. I mean, this lady was doing incredible. She was starting to pee again when I lost contact with her. That's what I want to see, is someone that wasn't urinating since they were 12 and they're 26 or something and now starting to urinate. That's what I want to see. That's regeneration, and that's what we're about here, this YouTube, is taking these people that are suffering and making them well again. Because allopathic isn't about that. This is our field, this is our consciousness, and if they want to come in and enjoy this level, then let them, absolutely. But don't bring your allopathic thinking in here. We leave that behind. That's okay for over there, I guess. This is always in the now. I love that. I love your picture. I love that. Quick question. I've been detoxing withdrawal for 9 months and on the herbs for 2 months and taking pictures of my iris for the last 3 months. All right. Trying to see the changes. Well, takes a while to get the iris to change. You're not going to be, I'll say that, but I wait for about 6 months to a year and see how the lymphatic system is. If you're really hitting it hard, sometimes if you do it too quick, the lymph system could look worse, only because when you start moving the lymph system in your body, you start moving it in your eye, and your eye can actually look worse, and it's not really, you're moving lymph. So don't get too frustrated with that, but a year from a year from a year from a year, you should see major changes in your lymph system in the eyes, big time. And if you have strong constitution, your genetic lesions will start sewing up and disappearing. Especially within 6 months, you should see that. Yes, yesterday I was able to see a huge difference. Look at that. She's already seeing a huge difference. But to me, it seems worse. See what I'm saying? No, this is detox. This is when you start moving that lymph, the eyes can show like the lymph is worse. It's not worse. You're moving lymph, trust me. I've seen that myself. I'm going, oh, you're not doing any better. This looks worse. I've been through that a lot, and I realized, no, we're moving lymph. So it will clear. It will clear. So hang in there, now. I had slight red around the pupil in the bow area in the beginning, but now it's much darker and the redness spread. Well, you're moving lymph. Got to get it filtering through your kidneys. See how you're moving lymph? You're probably pulling it to the lymph nodes and then out the kidneys. So you're going to see that between 10 and 2 o'clock. I had my tonsils removed when I was 5, so I guess my head area doesn't drain easy. Right on, sweetheart. But what does all this new red? You're just moving it. You're just moving it. That's all it is. You're just moving it. You're doing good though. When you're moving it, you're moving it. It's these spots can stay stagnant in your body for years, and let me see, I have my tonsils removed, but what does all this new redness mean? Is it a part of the Yep, it is. You're moving, you're doing good. We got someone there online? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much from New Zealand. Go always in the now. Love that picture. I've got to run, but I'm going to keep shooting this off and on throughout the day to catch up on your questions. I don't think I can catch up on these, but I'll sure catch up on those. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Drew, for helping. And I'll be with you again soon. Hang in there. Thanks so much. He's scared because he would be.
Yeah.
Did you find that answer sheet?
Yes.
Okay, because I'll talk to you later
Okay.
about that. Because I need to keep preparing to be, is that on?
Oh, we're good.
Oh, it is. Oh!
We're good.
Okay, we're going to start
Later.
something new here soon. Thanks.
And I have some other documents that I will be printing
Okay.
for the Q&As.
Okay. Okay, good. Good.
Alright.
Good. Oh, man, you should have told me this was on.
It's all good.
It's all
Have
good.
fun now.
Oh, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, man, our internet's down. We're having all kinds of problems here. They're shaking the bushes. Oh, good morning, you beautiful souls. How are you this morning? Already trauma on the front. I just had a firefighter in here, and poor guy, pumping proteins, and he's losing his connective tissue, and he's a local firefighter, and I said, man, balding at 21. So you see a lot of the younger people balding, and I was explaining to them Mrs. Lymph, because he's getting this cord here, and it's going to augment. I've seen it in hands where it augments your hands, and it's like connective tissue hardening, and so it's all acidosis, and so he's got to back up, and yet he's a fireman, so he has to keep his muscles. So we'll see pumping greens and fruit, and we can keep him muscles halfway on, and at the same time get this acidosis out of here and get this cord down to normal. We'll see if we can do that without stepping too high up on the pole, but it's possible. How are you? How are you all? I'm going to try today. We've got 2 hours. I think we have someone that just hasn't sent in their paperwork or anything, so we probably have 2 hours. I'll do the cancer video this afternoon. But I wanted to go over as much of this as I can. I'm so thankful that you're bearing with me. You guys are definitely keeping me hopping on all these question and answers, so forgive me for being a little late on them. Like I said, if there's anything that's really, really important to you, you call here and talk to one of the guys here and let them help you if it's really pressing, because I can see where, I'm running a little behind, and I don't want to be a week behind a symptom that you want to know something about. Real important. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and just ask a quick question. No problems with that. We're here to help you all with this journey, and you all are doing so well. I heard the Facebook yesterday was kicking butt. I've been talking to YouTubers here, and you all are just incredible. I was talking about this House bill. There's actually a Senate bill here. This was by, I think it was Larkin or Levin, Gary Levin or something like that. One of the senators supposedly did this. This is Senate Bill 1867. That's S1867, and House Bill HR Bill 1540. It's attached to that. You might look that up and see. I haven't had a chance to do that, but that Larkin, this guy isn't as far as I'm concerned, isn't a player for humanity. Obviously, if he did this bill like that and it takes people's lands away from them in terms of their rights and what they can grow, this guy should go to jail. Definitely be impeached. If that's the case. House Bill HR 1540 and Senate Bill 1867. I tell you, it's making people be proactive when it'd be nice just to have time where we didn't need, we could be just happy, just living life, and we didn't have to worry about that. Owen Fox, good picture of you, bro. Hey. Thanks, Owen. Good picture of you, bro. Now, did I do these? Dry skin brushing and all that to the heart? I think so. This is Danielle. Danielle, I think you're the cardiac nurse. You're the nurse, right? I'm going to talk about this, I think, on the cancer video because factual stuff about percentages of survival within 5 years, 10-year periods and stuff like that. I find it stupid, just the fact that, I've survived 5 years. I survived 5 years. How interesting. You know what? I'm more on the curative thinking side here. And I'm not into, let's keep you alive as long as we can. That stuff just doesn't compute. That's like saying, you've got 6 months to live type stuff. I just think that's ridiculous. The focus is on remedy, the focus is on wellness, the focus is on health and curing. Not I'm going to be in remission for these years and hopefully I'll survive that. I meet thousands and thousands and thousands of people with cancer, and we've had tens of thousands of people with cancer through my journey here in 40 years, tens of thousands of cases. So I have a lot of repertoire I can dig into and look at. I really don't know the percentages of those people that survive cancer within a 5-year period or a 10-year period because these facts are very difficult to confirm. I got 6 and 8% from the FDA. And so I figure the FDA's probably on top of it as close as they could be. But then who knows? There's so much lying and cheating and everything else out there. It's just, who knows the truth when it comes to that? I will tell you it's not high. You had quoted here, sweetheart, 60%, and that's like wishful thinking. You don't see that, and the people we come in here, we don't see 40% of the people that come in here, and the journeys that I have to hear about, and the amount of deaths that I hear about constantly every day does warp me a little bit. I try to maintain a good attitude and a spiritual viewpoint of this. So if you see me carrying on, I agree, Danielle, that maybe I get too much on that, but sometimes you just want to cry in here when you see the torment and you see the end result of treatments of cancer and stuff on kids and on adults. It's disturbing. And it'll disturb the psychic of any of you healers. And this is something to think about. And I would like to put this on the cancer video, and maybe I will repeat this. But as a practitioner, you have to be able to handle what you're going to see. And what you're going to see is what no one wants you to see. And that is the end product of what the medical doctors are doing to people. That's what you're going to see. And it isn't just one or two. It is a crowd of people. Just remember, last year over 1 million people were killed allopathically. So you can add hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, Gary Knoll, a bunch of people put together some stats. Matter of fact, the state was going to come after me here, and thank God we found the law about this, but I had pulled up a set of stats this thick. And let me tell you, even medical doctors are turning on themselves because a lot of the stats are coming from fellow medical doctors, and they're not pretty stats. They're frightening. They're scary, and they show you a killing machine that isn't appropriate. And so I don't know what to say about it, Danielle. The FDA is saying 6 to 8%. I remember several years ago, metastasized cancer, the cure rate was less than 1%. There is no cure rate, but a 5-year living mission. Get out of that kind of thinking, in my opinion, and let's go for broke. We're going to be well, we're going to be healthy, we're going to be happy, and we are not going to have acids breaking down our cells. We got to lose the concepts of diseases in these sort of thinking. So I do want to repeat this when I get back to this cancer video. So I don't know, sweetheart. It's hard to tell. I think it would be very frightening. The FDA was boasting that Berinsky had upwards to 20 to 25% cure rate over the allopathic chemo of 6% to 8%, depending on the type of cancer. So to me, those are the few people that are not bad. They have small cancers, and even them, I have stories miles long of women who had I had a beautiful lady in here one day, and she had a little pea-sized tumor. They killed her. She died from the use of chemo. On a pea-sized tumor, lump back to me, done. Boom, gone, that's it. Oh no, we have to use chemo. So when you see me get a little out of shape, it's because of these things, Danielle. It's because of what I see here, and I beg you guys to forgive me when I get a little out of touch there, but you just got to see what I hear every day, and I cry sometimes. I'm looking at it with my jaw dropped to the table. This is what you've been through? I mean, look at Kelly. Look at some of these people on YouTube that suffered all their lives with pain and all kinds of stuff. You know, mediated syncope and all these kind of ridiculous things that you didn't have to. I mean, it's out there. So, as healers, you guys got to be strong against that, because this is the other side of this, is what you're going to see and what constantly is coming to you. Healthy people, happy and full of love, don't always come to you. The people that are suffering, scared, and frightened, and wants, how can I fix this? And so that's where my heart is. And it's like, ooh. So it has definitely affected me a little bit that way, but trying to be detached and seeing this, because one lady was asking me here about karma and what is karma in terms of health and stuff like that. And karma is simple to understand when you understand a couple of things. And I think Jesus said it probably more aptly, is you reap what you sow. I like that one. Karma is just a quick word to say, you reap what you sow. The other one, I think, is the law of physics. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. And I think it just shows you the duality of life. And it's just a fact of life. It isn't something woo-woo-woo. It's a fact. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. You reap what you sow. You don't get away with anything. Everything is tied like this. So basically, I believe in past lives, that people have been visiting this planet, souls over and over again, different embodiments. I do believe in karma and reincarnation. I believe that. I see no indication to believe that souls come here and just touch and go off to some other place or some other heaven, or you just come down here for 60, 70, 80 years and then you go into some place for eternity and dwell. That doesn't fit in the scheme of what things would be, and you live in visit. I mean, this sort of thing is kind of a fairy tale sort of thing for certain religions. The reality is you're the God here. You're the individualized aspect of the whole. That's how God experiences. You can't expect an infinite being to put itself in a finite position except in illusionary concepts. You cannot, as an infinite being, suddenly be finite except through individual pieces, just like me, you, the books, individuality, individual aspects of creation. So in certain levels we call them states of consciousness, and the all of all, the one, is consciousness. So each one of us would be a state of consciousness within consciousness. We, as as an aspect of the Supreme Being would be consciousness in terms of soul, but in our bodies we would be playing with these little states of consciousness. All these little levels, you'll notice, is a certain state of consciousness, carries certain attitudes, carries certain aspects to it. Like being a carpenter. You move in, you suddenly become the carpenter. After a while, you perceive yourself to be a carpenter. And I've talked about this before on the spiritual tapes, that soul becomes the experience. For soul to understand what an experience is, it can't think about it because soul doesn't think. It can't feel it because soul doesn't feel. It has to become the experience. And if you'll look at that, you'll see that you take on the persona and the role and the experience of whatever. Remember, they took the bunch of friends and they divided them up and made half of them prisoners and half of them guards. And they were just good friends, and pretty soon the prisoners acted like prisoners and the guards act like guards. And pretty soon that friendship was augmented with their taking on the consciousness or the role or state of consciousness of a guard, a state of consciousness of a prisoner. And then they started acting accordingly. And that's the adaptation of soul to experiences in creation. That's why living in the now is so important, because it pulls you away from these individual aspects of something that is really illusionary. They're just playing a role. It isn't who they are. So, I wanted to say hi to Babe and Earl. I talked to Babe and Earl last night. She is on, this would be 124 days of juice fasting. Woohoo! 124. Kick my butt. Man, 124 days of a juice fast. Although you'd have to do 6 months to cut my mono. But that is incredible. It is. She is kicking butt. A lot of healing crisis, a lot of nasty stuff coming out. That's amazing. So this is good stuff. Good work. That's all I can tell you. It's great work. Great work. Go, Babe and Earl. Myopsychosis, the old is just in your head diagnosis. Oh, yeah, Danielle, that's typical stuff, isn't it, sweetheart? That's all in your head. I take people for what they say. If people want to lie or be something else, they can be, but I know people are hurting. And what's nice is, with this understanding of what we're talking about, you all can help everybody because you know immediately what they're suffering from. There's only a small little pouch that everything fits into anyway, isn't it? So you guys are just, I just can't say enough good things about all you guys and what you're doing, helping each other and stuff. This is Iron Cobra. Thank you again, Iron Cobra. Could you please explain what a herniation of the esophagus is? This is the guy with the lump in the throat. Well, herniation is when connective tissue holds everything together. Herniation is when that connective tissue gets weak and the tissue bulges, just kind of like a hernia. Is that what a herniation is? Where it expands through the connective tissue, whether it's in your bowels, umbilical, herniations can be vascular, it can be anywhere. You could maybe consider a polyp a form of herniation, even though it's a form of tumor / herniation. Whenever you see connective tissue giving way, you could consider, I think, diverticulums, bowel pockets, as herniations in their own way, where the connective tissue gets weak and you create a pocket or you create a swelling out of that. I think your lump is probably lymph, though, which is a coagulation of lymph in an area. Could create a herniation of the wall, being a weakened wall, esophageal wall. You could expand that and make it swell and feel like there's a lump there. In that would be a pocket of mucus. That's why I say if you keep digging in, you'll you'll cough up a big wad of mucus, and then that herniation will go down. Move lymph, strengthen parathyroid. Move lymph, strengthen parathyroid. Moving lymph, of course, we know what that is. Get into the kidneys, the adrenals, get into the GI tract. Always go that way. But definitely look at your parathyroid and see, Iron Man, about the strengthening of your connective tissue. My guess, this is a mucus problem, but go after that. It's either one of the two or both, and they're all tied together anyway. The more acidic, remember, something is, the loss of calcium in that area, and then you see the herniations or the strands or whatever you see, the loss of bone or whatever in tissues are in that area. And it can be local, but still strengthening the parathyroid would systemically help you strengthen up there. I am still confused about whether or not I can eat a vegetable meal once a day. You can. What I'm saying is I would do fruit all day long and a salad at night. If that isn't enough to pull this out, see, I fasted on carrot juice to try to do it, and carrot juice does not have the power that fruit do. I learned that the hard way. Messing with this with carrot juice, I didn't think about the fruit at the time. Carrot juice was the end thing. That's the problem with listening to other people. You guys think for yourselves. Think on your own feet. We know there's a lot of misinformation out there. We know that there's a lot of medical theories that hold no water. And it's totally unscientific. And we know a ton of that. So it's hard to believe in things that we know that isn't true. So I say be your own researcher. Be your own observer. Look at nature. Use nature as the barometer, because that's obviously where we came out of. This whole planetary aspect. When you're talking the physical body, you have to look within the physical laws and the physical confines of this world. Then you can start stacking on, like you guys know, the emotional or astral, the causal, which is the where you have the past, present, and future, where you have that duality area, and then you have pure mind, which is cosmic consciousness, and then you go on to you, self as soul. After you leave the ego, then you have the self, and it's that simple. But if that doesn't get it, you'll really hit that fast with grapes or citruses or lemons. Try a 10-day lemon fast, but really you might have to step up to that high fasting level to pull this out of the throat. Whatever it takes, I suggest that you do it, my friend, because we don't want any problems here. We don't want any cancer in the esophagus. We don't want anything like that. Get that out of there. So if you have to fast a little bit, which you probably will, go ahead and do that, my friend, and you'll be okay. Synergy of being. Well, you guys got great names. I love this. What a sight. I love that. You guys got good usernames, let me tell you. I like asthma, sinus, rhinitis, especially close to cats. Food allergies can be cured on a high fruit diet. Absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, though, the sinus is just acidosis, mucus, and stuff like that. But asthma has a connecting link of what? The nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. So this is going back to your adrenal glands here, and you got to pick up your adrenal glands to get more neurotransmitters, then to strengthen the myelin sheaths, and blah, 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 blah. So got to get the adrenals up, get the kidneys filtering, and that'll pull the lungs clean and, strengthen that aspect of it. But remember, asthma is part of the beginning stages of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, but it isn't just obstructive. It is not just mucus and congestion, it is definitely neurological. And very, very important to understand that connection. And that is, again, the adrenal glands, the autonomic, hooked into the solar plexus. And you could have stomach problems. You could have stomach problems, and that's going to grab that autonomic ganglia. And stomach problems could yield heart problems, asthmatic problems. Your stomach area is real tied into that. Everything's so tied together. It's amazing. I've been vegan for 5 years, followed some advice from a naturopath here in Puerto Rico. I want to know who that naturopath is. I knew a Felipe there who I met with, and we went to the DR and looking for the old dictator's mansion. It was the Presidente was going to give it to us. I know him, and then there was a man working for him I thought was really nice. Felipe, I don't know what happened to him. He got, I think, out of balance, but he had a nice gentleman working for him. But I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been down there. I wonder who that nature path is. The diet is fast, but this is what I don't like here. The diet is a fasting of potatoes, carrots, and yams. These are all starches. You don't fast on starches. No. You don't want to fast on starches. You want to fast on your fruit. That's what fasting is. Fasting is actually water, but if you step down, you could lump from the omnivorish perspective, I guess, you could lump fasting as a fruit experience. But it wouldn't be potatoes, carrots, and yams. That would not be that good. Still not getting well. That's why. That's why you're fasting on food that you should be eating sparingly anyway. And that he just has to learn about the fruits a little more, I'd suggest, or she. But my guess, this is a male naturopath. But this channel gave me fresh new. Oh, good. Thanks. Thank you, Synergy of Being. Yeah, rock there, you guys, especially from Puerto Rico. But get it back on the fruit fasting. Get your adrenals up. That's the asthma and stuff like that. You'll pull yourself out of this. Dr. Morris, please talk about karmatic sickness. Yeah, I mean, again, when you're on journeys, who knows what you've experienced in past lives? A lot of people remember their past lives. I mean, it just makes too much sense, and you can go back. So I think that we've all been on very long journeys, and maybe not necessarily to planet Earth. There's so much to God in creation. To limit the Supreme Being is almost infuriating. Why would you limit an infinite being to one little planet and one little, that kind of consciousness never did settle with me. But the magnificent journeys that all of us have been on, and the beauty of all that, some not so good, in creation you got duality and some of these experiences, but they're just experiences. You have to let the negative as well as the positive, you have to let it all go, because consciousness or yourself is the center of all life. You are the actual experiencer of all the drama and trauma that goes on and all the good things. And these are just memory banks to you, a soul. This is just an experience. As you get down to some of these experiences, they're ripping emotionally one way or another way, depending upon your desire, your wants. It can rip you apart. But these are illusionary things because they tie. Now, there is a lot of trauma going on. There's a lot of torture going on in the world. Americans still torture people. There's still torture everywhere. We just torture people. I don't know, we're sadistic or something. I don't know what it is. And so, those sort of things can lock into some souls, and they can carry them for lifetimes. I remember a girl that flatly remembered she was a Native American woman raped and killed by the military back in that time. And she has vivid memories of that. And we have a lot of cases where people have vivid memories of past lives. And so it's dumping these traumatic experiences that's locked in your adrenal glands and locked in your consciousness, which is then locked into your adrenal glands. A soul, it's locked in there in the mind part of creation, the mental, the causal mind. The causal is the memory part of your mind. That's the world where you see the Akashic records. Akashic records are well known. These are records of your past lives. You can view them. I viewed mine. You can go back and look in and view certain things. It all depends on your awareness and maybe what spiritual guide you have with you. But neat stuff there. But these are still experiences we have to let go. And a lot of times, and this is so accurate that you see God putting you in bodies that fit with your karma. And so your experiences are an aspect of your karma, because karma is just what you're creating. If I give you love, that's karma. Because anything in this physical world that involves activity of either positive or negative could be considered karmatic. Good karma, bad karma, however you wish to look at it. Good and bad are just opposite sides of the same coin, actually. And so, you have to look at it in that way, I think. And maybe we'll get deeper into it, into a spiritual discussion or something like that. But don't freak out for those that don't believe in that. But it is intriguing for those that don't believe in that. Let your, kind of take your belief systems and set it to the side. Even with health, we're here to examine what is. We don't want to believe anything or not believe anything that isn't true. So how do you see truth aside from what somebody told you, what you read? How do you know truth for yourself? And that should always be the question. I want to know truth for myself. And you got what's beautiful about this site is that most of you are so advanced spiritually that you're wearing the robe. That's how you understand things. You wear the robe. You take the ride, and you break down your barriers of fixed consciousness and conditioned thinking and programmed opinions and ideas and propaganda that has no basis in reality. Look at the propaganda you guys have learned already. They have no basis in truth, and allopathy is steeped in that. Steeped in the illusionary concepts of untruthfulness. And it's just, this is what happens when you get away from truth. Oh, Miss Ross Sweden. Hi, sweetheart. I read your thing here. 25 years old. I was 19 years old when I went to a doctor for a routine checkup. He wrote out a prescription for birth controls. In other words, she's had one hell of a ride with the birth controls. My periods stopped coming. I did not have my period for a year. Then my periods came normally for a while. 3 years ago, I had a stressful time in my life, and my period stopped again. And now I have not had my period for almost 3 years. The doctor cannot find anything wrong. Well, these are your endocrine glands. And I would first go right to that pituitary. Even though stress is the adrenal glands, I would march right up to your pituitary and kind of give that a little kick with a pituitary cytotrophin or a pituitary glandular, or at the very least do the female reproductive formula. That'll get your period back. The female reproductive formula, Chase Tree, I have that. It'll touch the pituitary. That could help you. Definitely want to look at your pituitary. Also, clean your adrenals out, sweetheart. That'll clean out these emotions and stuff. Connecting link, obviously, neurologically to everything. This can also be affected neurologically to the ovaries, so you always want to build up your adrenals. You always want to go after that pituitary, which controls ovarian menses, so you want to look at that too, and build that pituitary up as well. So you want to look at that too, and build that pituitary up as well. The doctor can find anything wrong. Well, these are all the glands. It is difficult. He wants to give me my birth control so I get my period back. Well, that's because most birth controls are a form of estrogen. And of course, estrogen is what makes you bleed. That's a very powerful acidic astringent, and it's very hard on the capillaries of the uterine wall. But you have progesterone that comes in and heals. The corticosteroid comes in and heals and buffers estrogen. Well, you can be very low in estrogen and higher in progesterone, and this can be an adrenal issue as well. Vaginal dryness would be one of the big hallmarks of low adrenal estrogen. Perhaps if you have good ovarian estrogen, you might slice through that, but it sounds like, and you're a young, beautiful woman. That means that 25, for sure, kidney and adrenals to a certain extent. You have to see how low your blood pressures are and stuff like that. But I would definitely go female reproductive formula at the minimum. Maybe perk up that pituitary with a glandular as well. Try the female reproductive first. But get into your adrenal glands, honey. Get into your kidneys. Go that route. At your age, don't take anything unless you have a picture of your eyes and you know everything is good. But at 25, that'd be rare. You really want to go after your adrenals and everything else. Remember, there was an emotional, stressful period, which you got to attack right to your adrenals here. But if you think, I think it very well worse, what should I do? There you go. That's what you should do, Miss Ross Sweden. That's what I would do. Go after that in that way. Get your take the female reproductive formula. It'll tone the uterus. It'll tone the ovaries anyway, and see if you can get it back. But I would definitely go into the adrenals, the kidneys, go to the lymph system, and clean yourself out that way, sweetheart. And stop. You're young now, so fix all this, and then you'll go just right on up there. The Swedes got good genes, and so go right on up there. Burdock, D-O-C-K. Is that the same that always sticks in your clothes? Yeah. But the burdock leaves or burdock root. Burdock leaves are great for burns and high in calcium, great for kidneys and things. Good, I mean, superb skin healer. According to some Amish friends of mine, ranks right up there with aloe in terms of the ability to regenerate skin tissue. I saw an Amish boy that was burned with gasoline, him and a non-Amish boy. And the non-Amish boy, they ran to the hospital, and the Amish boy, they ran to a friend of mine who's an old Amish elder healer, really well known in the Amish community. And this child had burnt his skin and fell down to his wrist, so John just cut off his skin and wrapped his arm in burdock leaves. And I was at his place when he was in Ohio. He's now in Pennsylvania. And it was amazing. There was no scars. This young, but his friend, the non-Amish boy, was at this dinner and this talk I was giving, and he was mutated real bad. It just showed you the tremendous difference. Now, I would have put the arm in a vat of aloe vera. All ER should have fresh burdock leaves and aloe vera. Now, John's got a burn salve up there that hospitals are starting to use, and this burn salve is really good. But I did not find your burdock leaves in there, John Kine. So, incredible healing power. Burdock root, blood, liver, that's part of the dock family, and burdock is a great herb. Let me see. This is, boy, you guys give me a tongue twister. So I'm going to say Nin Tindogomba. Boy, you've got a tough name for a guy like me. But let me see here. I started out with Life Regenerator and have noticed big changes. Go for it, man. I think I have been concerned about is my heart. I am currently on a water juice / smoothie fast. At night in my dreams, I have been noticing my heart to beating irregularly ever since I started the fast. I got into a car accident some time ago, and they told me my blood pressure is high for my age, which really confuses me. I am slowly getting back into exertive after my car accident, rebounding. What can I do for my heart? I should mention bad hearts are on my dad's side of the family. One more thing you should know, I do take Hillel tea. Thank you. R.Y. Okay. Remember, the heart is simply a four-chambered bunch of tissue. And you got two valves, mitral and tricuspid valves. And, the heart is just an organ with four chambers made of cells. But within this organ of four chambers and two valves are a blood flow to the cells, are a lymph flow to the cells, and is a nerve flow to the cells. So blood, nerve, and lymph are the two main energy flows of the human body, found literally everywhere in the human body, or pretty much everywhere. Now, when there's a problem with the nervous system in the heart, that creates irregular heartbeats. The nervous system is a distinct system outside. It's a nervous system. Now, the nervous system is also made of a bunch of cells and impacted by blood and lymph. So the lymph system or the blood system can impact the nervous system, no question about it. But also does the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, and you had an accident which is emotional, and that trauma could have resulted in a far greater hypofunction of the adrenal glands, the trauma from that, and therefore you saw neurological problems to the heart. The other side of this is calcium utilization problems, which is going back to parathyroid again, when you're not utilizing calcium, and calcium will also affect nerve impulses to the heart. So I would definitely check my parathyroid, work on that, get my adrenals up for neurological or heart arrhythmias. On the second side of this is congestive heart failure. That's the lymph system in the heart. And of course, when the lymph system's backed up in the body, it's backed up in the heart. And of course, then you have blood flow. Blood flow is impacted by the lymph system more than anything. So when you see calcifications or you see cholesterol plaquing in the coronary arteries, it's actually in the wall. This is actually the lymph system causing this. So I would get into my kidneys, into my adrenal glands, really build those up, use a new brain and nerve if you want to. We have a heart formula that's excellent for the heart. You could have a heart muscle weakness which may be a weakness of the cells, but then blood, lymph, and nerve affect those. So getting all that healthy is going to pull you back out of that and strengthen that heart. I wouldn't normally say that people that have heart arrhythmias have heart problems. You know, we jump and say we have heart problems when it could be actually a nerve problem. It could actually be a blood problem and a lymphatic problem.
You're setting up your Skype.
Setting up the Skype for now? Okay, thank you. I'll post this off. I'm sorry, dear ones. I've got to run this morning. I've got a Skype interview going on. And so I want to thank you and thank you for this, RY. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize for that. But I appreciate that question. You get your body healthy. Go to the kidneys, get the adrenals going, go that route. Always go that route, guys. That'll reach and grab everything. Believe it or not, how simple is this? But you'll see this over and over again by going into those kidneys and adrenals, man. You sure can affect everything. So thank you so much. I will continue this. I think I've got a 2-hour window. If I do, I'm not going to keep answering questions. I want to do that cancer video, get that done, and then we'll go down the line and do another one that you want me to do. I'll do one on blood sugar problems and things like that. So we thank you very much for tuning in here, and I will see you soon. Keep up the great work. Love and blessings to each and every one of you, and thanks again. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah. Then once I get the cancer one up and done, then I'm pretty much going to start rolling down the hill. I'll do diabetes, I'll do whatever. Oh, okay. Are we on? Uh-oh.
All right.
Thanks, Drew.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, back in the saddle again. Well, I want to shoot the cancer video next, so we went and bought a new camera. It's a little better than this one, but Chris has been sick, and so we have no one to take this off, so I can get room on this one to shoot the cancer video. And someone didn't show today. I've got 2 hours coming up, and this one I want to lay this cancer video out. And it's just going to be just plain talk about cancer, and I think it's important. Just some beautiful questions here, and just again, I'm real privileged to work with you guys, and I appreciate your comment here. And you're right, ObserveX 10. I like your name. I appreciate that. I would like a couple of months off, and I'm going to shoot these individual videos and then try to get with your questions as much as possible. I'm almost caught up here, and then I want to do a string of videos in relationship to each condition, or at least lump the similar conditions together. That way you guys can access that with just one video instead of skimming through all the videos. So thanks again everyone, and thanks again ObserveX for your thoughts. Appreciate that very much. Trader Bun, this is interesting, my friend. Your sister, you had Thanksgiving eating grapes and fresh coconut water. My hat off to you, my dear one. My sister-in-law, who was just diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and is in the process of getting half her thyroid taken out, also in the room eating her usual crap. I tried telling her to detox, however, all I heard was this. Why that? I had a good answer to all her questions, but I think she's going to stick to her fancy doctor's intellectualism at its finest. You're right, Trader Man. You know, the problem is that we get your sister-in-law years later in big trouble. We always get these people that walk up and they have all the faith in the world. Take out half my thyroid, then I'm done with it. Basically, probably what she's saying inside of her. But you never remove an endocrine gland. Never. They are vital to the function of all functions in the human body, and you never remove an endocrine gland. The medical doctors have to learn how you fix things. Get on board with us and let us teach you how to fix things. And everybody's good, you know. Just scoot over and don't try to be the bullies. Now, my hands were almost healed when I had to go and eat some homemade fry. Oh, this is good. They are vital to the function of all functions in the human body, and you never remove an endocrine gland. Medical doctors have to learn how you fix things. Get on board with us and let us teach you how to fix things. And everybody's good, Just scoot over and don't try to be the bullies. Now, my hands were almost healed when I had to go and eat some homemade fry. Oh, this is good. My hands were almost healed, then I had to go and eat some homemade fries with the natural ketchup. Brian Adams is a French fry freak. Once in a great while, if it's a really good homemade French fry, hard not to try that. I was on a fruit for 6 days up until that. Ooh, you got your butt kicked, didn't you? And things were clearing up. The only thing I can think of is the citric acid in the ketchup, because I am not allergic to potatoes or tomatoes. No, but they're clogging to your lymph system. This is so frustrating how one can set the eczema off. Well, listen, don't feel bad here, okay? This is in part of your education. Don't feel bad about this. Your eczema will go away. It shows you that you haven't got your lymph cleaned out to the level. And this is something I think is important to realize. Just because you're clean doesn't mean your lymph is totally cleaned up. You want to take your clients way beyond their symptoms being gone. This is true with tumors, cancers, sugars, I don't care what. You keep pushing your clients and pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. Let them keep going, keep going, keep going until they just can't stand it anymore. And you've got one healthy. I just saw a lady here. She's from Mexico, big tumor. She is a fruitarian now. She cannot eat even vegetable juice. Too low for her, can't handle it. And I said, you're there. She's got strong constitution. She is going to. She's already kicking butt. No cancer. Just major good job on her lymph system. She's a fruitarian. She's so much she outworks her husband. She never gets tired. It's like, and her husband, but all she eats is fruits. And I said, yeah, look at her. She's outworking you. Amazing, isn't it? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is so frustrating to see. I've already eliminated wheat, dairy, alcohol. I know. Listen, Angel B, sweetheart, don't freak out, honey. Just keep moving your lymph, keep moving your lymph, keep moving your lymph, keep moving your lymph. That's all. This is typical stuff. It happens, but you need to experience that. Don't go beat yourself up. You've done good. You're going to do good. You're going to get, the keys already to get rid of it. So you never have to worry about that because you're on that road. You're going to get rid of it, honey. It's just that, that's how bad French fries and ketchup is for you, right there. Like, whoa. Yep. It's hard to explain that. Hey, Owen Fox, I love your picture. Thanks so much for you, good man. Love you, man. Appreciate it very much for all your comments, Owen. You're such a great dude. All of you guys are great. I just love you all. Hi, can you give me some advice, please? I have bulimia and managed to give up the behaviors about a year ago. But I've recently fallen back to the old ways. I was doing very well for ages, eating mostly fruit and raw. I even got your herbs, but then I started to eat cooked foods, and now I'm finding it really hard to get back to where I was. I've been getting energy therapies for the last few months, and I'm reading nothing but books about spirituality. Good deal. Well, that's how you move yourself back in there. Get some raw. Go get to the older books. I had a guy in here yesterday buying a pile of books, and I said, I love you because you're like the rest of us. You get your knowledge and you're going to he said, the new books have nothing. He said, all these old healers, and I said, now you're getting it. These guys tore it apart. That's where a lot of knowledge was gained with these really aware beings in the earlier years of the 1800s, mid to later 1800s, early 1900s. You'll find more knowledge in those books. Now these new books is don't eat fruit, don't do this, candida causes everything. I mean, this is all crap. We've stagnated in our search of the miraculous. Was that a book I read once? That wasn't Alan Watts, though, was it? No. Okay, so, again, 00353. Emma, don't beat yourself up, sweetie. Don't beat yourself up because you just work yourself back. We're all not able to maintain that for all kinds of variety of reasons. No one's judging you or have a heavy hand on you. You're on a spiritual website. Everyone here, for the most part, is very aware, loving, and we give space and respect. And so you just keep working it. Jump back in, though. Get on those fruits and stuff, because you can't overcome your problems by going backwards. You want to go a little forwards. Balance out later on. Tell your subconscious, you'll be back to that dead animal if you're eating meat. If you're not and you're eating grains, I'll be back to that hummus. I'll be back to that. Right now, sit over there. I'll come back and go on down the road to Rawville. And just tell that cooked food stuff you'll be back, later on. Right now, you're on a journey, and they just have to wait there. Get your mind to set them aside and set your mind aside, and you'll be okay, and you'll work yourself through this and stay raw as much as you can and keep working yourself through that. That's all you can do. We're all different in that respect. Are frozen berries still really good? I think so. Oh, and I think that frozen is going to come down and be your second best, and then anything below frozen, pretty much dead. Here's Andre. Dr. Morris, my rib cage of the left side of my body is a little bigger than the right side. What are your thoughts on that? Well, I said your two halves come together as a whole, and I'm sure we're going to even find the split of the pituitary. But if you notice, you got two halves, two thyroids, two adrenals. Blood sugars are different on each side. Blood pressures are different on each side. Basal temperatures are different on each side. Everybody's a little different on each side. Sometimes you see similarities, but common for a woman to have a bigger breast on one side than another. Some people have a bigger hand on one side. Very common to have a foot a little bit bigger than the other foot. I've seen stories of the shoe manufacturers talking about this. So, every side is different. Well, I think that if you really tear this raw apart, and you get up, you get the pituitary balanced out, where with all your growth hormones, you get your parathyroid. Everybody's working because you got two parathyroids here, four actually, two thyroids. You start getting all that healthy, you might see the balancing. Because I've seen this many times. Remember I told you about the spinal bifida case, born without L4 and L5, the kidney vertebrae, and now has them after 3 years of raw. So, and I told you where bones will re-straighten, scoliosis re-straighten on its own. So I have to tell you that dig deep, and it's a probability that your body will balance itself out in growth, and each side be harmonious with the other side and be bilaterally the same. And that's what I would shoot for. And not even think about it. Just tear it apart. Just tear the raw apart, tear the juices apart, and let your body work that way and see what happens, Absolutely. Seattle Light Warrior. My drug of choice is fruit. Let me take a few minutes. I agree. Ripe, organically grown, picked ripe, absolutely. Nectar of the friggin' gods. Take a few minutes, and I'll tell you, add berries to that drug list of yours, because fruits and berries and melons, don't forget what a good watermelon will taste like. Let's see if I can remember. Thank you for sharing it out. You're welcome. Annie CH139. A piece of music I would like to share with you and your viewers of YouTube called The Beauty Within by Symbiosis. I find this is so relaxing and healing. I'm going to leave this and look that up, because I love soothing music. I'm listening always innerly. So when you listen inward, you can hear the music of God. And in the last years, once in a while I'll externally like to listen to music, but I'm always listening within, so I really don't listen to a lot of music. I find it all kind of agitating. It's kind of like vegetables. They can be agitating to a frugivore. So it's kind of that way in the ecstasy and joy of the celestial music of God, and so I like to listen to that within. And so listening without is sometimes, eating vegetables, if you know what I mean. But I will definitely look that up. Thanks, Annie. Annie, again, thank you for your response to my friends with MS. Absolutely. The two, the man and wife that are both MS, my heart went ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Oh, These guys, we're going to get these guys. If these are your friends, we're going to get them up. I mean, that tears at the heartstrings that you got a woman and a man together, both in chairs, and they can't even. No. If they'll keep their focus, they'll get up out of those chairs. We already showed you what, and it's not difficult, but it is focused detox and regeneration, totally. Okay. I hope they will contact you when they are ready. I saw two people anyway, a man and a woman, both in wheelchairs, and they're part of the YouTube, and these are sweet, these are just incredible people. I am no healer. You're not? I'm thinking that, Annie, you're working your way to being one, ain't you? My only qualifications is what I've experienced. Well, I think those are pretty good qualifications myself. You know, we've had a lot about school on this channel, and whoever was slandering that, and we think we know, and a lot of it's hype stuff, but in reality, I trust the most someone who has had years, or at least has the knowledge and the ability to cure people from their ills. Didn't say diseases. To take a person that's in pain and suffering and full of tumors and bring them out into the light again. That's a healer. You don't have to have school for that. You have to have self-knowledge, and that's where all of you guys are on the top of the mountain, because you're doing the do, you're wearing the robe, and that makes you so much more aware than someone that went to school. And besides, you're not going to get this information in any school on this planet. This is 40 years of my work, and you're not going to get this in a school. I wish you could. I wish naturopathic schools would wake up, drop the medical thinking, and get back to true, pure naturopathy, and what a beautiful world it is. But I don't think you're going to see that for a while, so we're going to create true naturopathy on this channel. I could be like a paper mill here. I could put out diplomas and stuff and just give them to you guys. My only qualifications is what I've experienced while trying to heal my own body. Honey, that's all you need. If this is using a change in diet and herbs as I learn more about them, I am beginning to understand. What exactly do you mean by move that lymph? What Loma or lymphatic massage help someone with MS, or would it release too many toxins in the body? I'm thinking Reiki. Well, Reiki might not, or EFT might be the way to go. Yeah, I would say this, though. Move those lymphs is a kidney and adrenal gland and a colon experience. So you always have that basic core on whoever you're working with. And I don't care what their problem is. The basic core of great detoxification is 1, the raw, 2, the fruit and berries and melons, 3, kidney formula, at least 1, lymphatic formula, at least 1, GI tract formula, not a laxative, a restorative, at least 1. I like a lymphatic 1 capsules, or something in the bowels as the capsules that'll draw more even. And something for the endocrine glands, specifically for the adrenal glands, but certainly the endocrine glands. That is a vital core focus always that one must have if you want good detox. After a while, you can drop off the herbs, who cares? But get that dent done. Clean up those areas and get your urine full of sediment, and you're well on your way to Wellville and beyond. Wellville has a lot of levels to it. Okay. I don't know about. I'll say this: if you do a lymph drainage massage, definitely tell them please don't work toward the heart. Please work toward the kidneys. Don't work toward the heart, please. You know, that would be my only exception there, particularly with those that are in serious trouble with occluded coronaries or something. Not a smart thing to do. I agree about getting tubes tied. Been pondering doing this for a while now. I agree about getting tubes tied. Been pondering doing this for a while now. You know what? To me, I hate to say this, but all raw repairs everything anyway. For ladies, it's by far the safest. I've looked at this for a lot of years. Until we get an herbal formula that's going to do well, going on steroids is not good. It's messed up a lot of women. It's a form of abortion anyway, and it's okay. I mean, that's the rhythm of things. But when it comes to pharmaceuticals, I hate all the fact that the women have had to do this. I don't know. We all have our own issues, and some things maybe I won't be so pure and high end, but I do recommend having tubes tied. I think for anybody sexually active, I think that's important because we have to be careful. So thanks for that. An intelligent jargon of crap. Dr. Morse, you have the best quotes ever. I love you, honey. Thank you so much for that. Lolita, glitter. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. I don't know. You know what? After all these years, I probably have insane anyway, but thanks for your thing there, sweetheart. This is HRA Provic Plush. I like a little teddy bear. Like a big teddy bear. Lower back pain on lymphatic cleanse. Yeah, that's probably kidneys. And of course, right above the hips on each side, you'll get a little knot on each side there. That's your lymphatic ganglia. Owie, that can really hurt. But that's going right up to the kidneys there. Clean those kidneys, get them filtering, and that little nervy knots right there, the lip knots, they'll go away. L4, L5, or 3 on down, that'll clear up. Everything's good then. But if you have a weakness, when you detox, where you have a weakness, you're going to feel it. If you didn't even know anything about the eyes or anything, if you knew that, then you would know when you detoxify, you're going to feel wherever you have a weakness. And that obviously is where you have the weakness. But that's right at your kidney level, probably. And that would give you an idea that that's right in your face. Lymphatics, kidneys. I have been reading your book and been learning a lot. I've taken your advice to go on a fruit diet to get the lump out of my throat. Oh, it's you with the lump in the throat. I just addressed you this morning on this same series here. I did address that lump in the throat for you again. However, anytime I eat a good amount of grapes, oranges, or watermelon, I get really bad lower back pain for about 20 minutes. Yep, wouldn't doubt it. That's a problem. Now, you could use castor oil pack on there. Use any oil, basically, olive or coconut, but castor oil is really great for inflammation and hardened lymph and stuff like this. So you could use a castor oil pack with some heat, driving it in there, probably help that symptom of that pain a little bit. But you keep going and work that out. That pain will be out of there and you'll be done with that. But if not, that's where deterioration is common in people's lower back. And then you get the sciatic nerve responses down the legs with that. Okay, my whole lower back and a bit of an upper back is in some serious pain for about 20 minutes, but then the pain goes away completely. At first I thought it was because of the fact that I ate cold watermelon, but I got same results with grapes. I assume this is kidney. What could this be? Kidney. You just answered it for yourself. That's how smart you are. Good work. Could this be my kidney cleansing? Something else. I just want to make sure that I'm... Nope. You know, you guys... Relax. You're all fine. You're going to be fine. You guys know the secrets of wellness. It's just bringing out your weaknesses and eliminating them. How beautiful is that? You can't ask for anything more. It's incredible. But it isn't always fun. And you're the case where some of these cases are not always fun. But you will pull that out of there. And you'll know that later on in your life you will not have much more serious decay, either compression, bulging, herniations, whatever. You won't have to go through that because you're now cleaning up that lymph system and the acids out of the body. And I think you're doing beautifully. And it just shows you where your weaknesses are. Keep going to when you can do that and there's no pain whatsoever. Now you got it. Keep on going. Don't freak out. Oh, here's Miss Glitter, munching a carrot and enjoying your videos. Thank you, sweetheart. I love a good, Canada's organic carrots. I once went up to Canada and got a bunch of organic carrots from Canada, and I juiced them, and the juice was red and sweet as nectar of the gods. Whew. Man, that was good. Oh, hey, bro, I haven't seen you before. Dijon 82. My name is Dave. Hey, Dave. I'm not sure if you're gone over this before, but I'm a type 1 diabetic and have neuropathy. I have gone over this, Dave. Please review these videos on type 1. I am going to do one exclusively on blood sugars, so I will address this even in more depth. There are two types of type 1s as far as I'm concerned. There's actually the beta cell weakness itself in the pancreas, and there's also a neurological diabetes, which is the autonomic nervous system in the pancreas not allowing the beta cells to function properly. You see a lot of this nowadays. I think that one is the more difficult one, but it doesn't matter. You're into the form of regeneration. This is why you should only eat fruits and vegetables. And in type 1, mostly, if you get up on fruit, you have a few days maybe of glucose loading or a week of going back and forth, and then the fruit will keep your blood sugar perfect. Eat a salad and your blood sugar will go up. There's a different way of looking at that. I've had a good Amish healer up there in Shipshewana. Willie's been a friend of mine for many years, and he's got some very fine individuals working for him, and we had one who really gets it, and his name's Andrew at Shipshewana. That's Northern Nutrition, and he really gets the raw and stuff. So we were talking about type 1, particularly on fruit, whether you don't need insulin. This idea that your body takes fructose to the pancreas or to the liver, converts it to glycogen or converts it back to glucose, to me is not in the mix, because why would you want to convert a simple sugar that's already a simple sugar into another simple sugar? I mean, it's ridiculous thinking. Matter of fact, in most thoughts, fructose does not need insulin. It absorbs, because it is perfect sugar for man, it absorbs through the cell by diffusion. No insulin needed, thank you very much. So what we've seen on many type 1s, there's always exceptions, but what we've seen on many type 1s is that the fruit keeps the blood sugars very, very low. Anywhere between 100 and 130, I'm happy on a type 1 brittle or on an insulin pump. Let's see if you're on an insulin pump. I've lost feeling in both of my feet because almost 90%. No. You can turn this around, John. You can turn this around. I would like to know if there's any way of me. Oh, absolutely, totally. I also heard that you help people completely. Oh, absolutely. I'm thoroughly interested in your program. Hop on it, my friend, and really drive. If you want someone to ride with you, call down here. Jennifer will ride with you on this. Notice the difference in blood sugars and my overall mood. Recently, I started eating raw foods for the past week and noticed a difference. Absolutely. If you're on the insulin pump, watch it. If you're giving yourself insulin, I'm going to caution you that it is a fact. If you're brittle or whatever, you might see this, but if you hang in there, this is going to straighten out and go right down the road. You have to be careful with insulin shots, because if you don't use that as needed or use and change the amount that you're given, you could be in deep trouble. I've had one lady go into a diabetic coma because she didn't adjust her insulin, and her blood sugars dove down. I had a nurse on 40 units at night and 45 maybe in the morning. I can't remember. She's on 40 and 40 or something like that. And I tell you, she was off in 1 week. That's how quick she was. And she was like freaking out. Now, if she had not adjusted her insulin, she could have been in serious, serious trouble. You really must watch your insulin taking. Even if you're on a pump, you got to really watch it. I just give you that. I live in LA now. Well, remember, move out. There's too much acid air out there, bro. I just moved here from West Palm. You moved there from West Palm? You moved into Acid Kingdom, bro. Everybody knows LA is acid world there. So be careful. I got a lot of rock and rollers out there that can't hardly take it. I'm sharing this with you because my finances are really, really tight right now. I have to say that your prices are more than reasonable for what you offer. I'm wondering if there's anything we can work out. You have to call Jennifer. She owns the pharmacy, her and Brenda. I'm an actor. Yes. Voiceover talent, songwriter, musician. Go, John, go, man. I'm writing to barter with you. I'm pretty good at marketing. I can get more people to your YouTube channel. You know what, my friend? Talk to Jennifer. Call Jennifer up and ask for her, and she'll work out something with you, I'm sure. I've been a diabetic since I was 13. How old are you now, my friend? You look like are you 30-some, 20-some? And I think we had our run. It's time for it to go. I just sick of it. Well, let's get rid of it. There's only one way to get rid of it, my friend. Well, if you can get back to me, I'll get back to you. I'll give this to Jennifer, too, to look at. You've got the email and everything there. Yeah, I had to go to lunch and work outside. I'm planting plants, even though this is winter. I just, I didn't mean to show you that. Oh, God. That's my plant fever. I love plants. I love flowers. I'd be surrounded in gardens of beauty and love. We should plant everything. That's what's beautiful about Florida, particularly Sarasota and Naples. It's like Disney World. We plant plants everywhere, flowers everywhere. I never did like bare naked trees, dark skies, cloudy skies, and bare brown ground. Depressing. I really love what you said about aloneness on the spiritual journey. So true. I'm very alone and isolated myself. Well, you've got everything in the now, and yet you have nothing in the now. So we're alone in the now, but in my aloneness, I'm with your aloneness. And so we can identify with each other in our aloneness, because at our alone state, we're all the same. Happy to meet you. Happy to meet myself. I'm happy to meet myself in you. You'll be happy to meet yourself in me. That's the beauty of that state, is that we're all one in that state. We are getting all closer to being all that which is. And so even though we feel all alone, because there is no creation in God, in the alone state, it is the artificial creation, if you will, the illusion of separation and duality and all that implies. The reality is much more when you are in the now. So, pleasure to meet you, my dear one. C. Collins, absolutely. You've got a whole side of alone people that are very powerful people. So you're right where you need to be. Annie CH. Channel 139, and a lonely night in Louisiana. Thank you. And an email, how do I purchase your book and eye drops, please, to heal conjunctivitis? Now, conjunctivitis. Well, move those lymphs. The eye wash will be excellent for that. It'll help to move blood and lymph. You'll probably get some mucus over the eye when you do that, but I would still move the internal lymph system. Always work internally. Topically to help the symptom, definitely very good. Internally, go after it, and I would take that eye drop internally. Give a clinic a call here. It should be on this YouTube site. I think he's got the number listed. Somebody suggested colloidal silver. No! Oh my God. Just get that eye wash. You'll do so much better. Don't mess with chemistry. Not smart. I saw a blue man on internet. I like you already, Annie. You know that. That's exactly why. You don't do the Blue Man Group. You know, the Blue Man Group wouldn't need to wear all that if they just take a lot of colloidal silver. You guys like the Blue Man Group? They're insane. I've seen them a couple of times. They're funny. I have other issues that I've addressed. Use herbs. Forget isolated chemistry. Too dangerous. Herbs friendly. I have other issues that I've addressed. Use herbs. Forget isolated chemistry. Too dangerous. Herbs friendly. Yep, absolutely. That's funny. Lower back pain. Ooh, I have other issues that I'll address. 2012. Lower back pain, kidneys, pins and needles, lymph, and on the nervous system, numbness, carpal tunnel. Oh, 2 surgeries done. Condition remains. This problem is pinched nerves in my neck. Get that lymph moving, sweetheart. Get that lymph moving. Fibromyalgia, right there. Fibromyalgia, head to toe. Systemic lymphatic constipation. Systemic acidosis. Get that all out of there, sweetheart. You'll get rid of all that fibromyalgia. You'll get rid of the carpal tunnel. Might take a while to dissolve any spurs, but I'll also get that moving so you can get that. Get a chiropractor maybe to help you, but move those lymphs, and then you won't get that pinched neck anymore. Was pre-diabetic, high blood pressure. Well, here we are, right at the kidneys and adrenals, aren't we? Right there, kidneys and adrenals. There's that lower back, remember? And how that's all tied together right there. So right there's right in your face. Kidneys, lymphatics. Kidneys, adrenals, lymphatics. Absolutely. Changing diet instead. We got me eating fruits now. Thank you. Go Annie, channel 139 on a late night in Louisiana. 222J, you're smiling. Thanks for doing the videos. Your smiling face makes me feel good. Well, your love makes me feel good. And what a beautiful picture of tulips. Is that tulips? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I take it you're as beautiful as those flowers, huh? Here's MSWIAT3. These are tongue twisters. Wow. I'm an old country boy, guys. I was in the back of the room when it come to English pronunciation and spelling. What? I'm still on the farm. Doc, go ahead and reread the letter from start to finish again. And please tell me, where does it say that the family is pushing the person for chemo or radiation? How about urging the person to seek proper treatment instead of blaming and accusing everyone? How about if the tumor is too large and it's too risky to have it directly removed or cut off? What do you do then? Please mention some other means of shrinking a tumor without chemo. I am going to save this one for this next video that I'm going to be shooting here real quick. Once Jennifer gets back with the new camera, we're going to cut this and I'm going to shoot to that. You might want to listen to that. I'm going to address that in there because you asked them about a blame game. You know, I blame the individual if I blame anybody because the buck stops with you. But you got a lot of loving women out there that love their families and their men, and a lot of the husbands that push the ladies to have chemo when they really didn't want to. If you've not seen that, then I apologize, but I've seen that a lot. And I've seen a lot of lovely, beautiful souls die from the use of chemo from that. And if I could just put this out over the air, give you your phone number, you would be dazed picking up all the calls to you from where this has happened. I spent extensive work in cancer, extensive work, and I see a lot of this right up firsthand. So it's not a blame, but definitely the individuals, and my message to each one of you is to, and it always has been, be strong in yourself. No matter what family member, what push you have from loved ones, be strong in what you want. If you want chemo, belly up. But if you don't, also don't belly up, because everybody wants you to. That's a weakness that cannot serve anybody well, I guarantee you. And yes, you can get rid of tumors without chemo. What? I mean, you're burning tissue. You're actually trying to basically fry a tumor so it'll shrink and disappear. Very few disappear. Many shrink down. But then you remember this acid's flowing all through you. And I want to wait before I get too much into that, because I'm going to talk about this on this video. only to see what they loosely term metastasized cancer, when really the chemo is what did it. So, yes, that's what this field is about. Cleaning your lymph system, and of course tumors are in the lymph system, and if you clean your lymph system, guess what gets cleaned out? Cysts, tumors, all of these type of polyps and stuff, all get cleaned out there. So, I'll save that. Upper Tune Teas. Now, I also had the raw chocolate lady, raw chocolate factory, but I gave it to Jennifer. They're all indulging in the chocolate. I never heard of chocolate and cayenne pepper. I'm a little leery of tasting that, but Brenda said it wasn't too bad. It was a little hot. This is Upper Tune Teas to play at the highest level. Whew, you guys are so good. Oh my God. I love this. I want to see the spiritual renaissance coming in and really awaken a lot of people up. I love this sort of thing. We've got to get our heads out of the dirt. There's no question. Sounds like the higher caste Ayurvedic system got corrupted by riches and ego. Woo-hoo-hoo. I think so. I really do. I had a man from India, Bombay. Well, he said Bombay. I said, it's not Bombay anymore, is it? But I always liked Bombay. I hated that they changed that. I liked Bombay. But, yeah, I think that sometimes when you're in a wealthier situation, sometimes, maybe more than less, we tend to get trapped in this intellectualism and levels where we think that is, above the populace. Whew. 30-day apple, lemon water, and heal all fast. Remember I told you about Babe. Was it Babe? No, not Babe and Earl. Babe and Earl, 124 days now. Hello, Dr. Morris. Temet nuisance means know thyself. Oh, okay. In Latin. Good. Know thyself. Thank you for answering my question on cavities. I placed an order for the Heal All and Parasite Formulas. Recently considered doing a month on just apples, lemons. I think you should do that. 1 month on just apples, lemon water, and Heal All tea. Woohoo! That ought to be a butt kicker time. Let me know. I live in New York and can get organic apples for 25 cents a pound. Well, you're up in the apple place. I hope you know how loved and appreciated. Oh, thanks so much, Andy. Thank you, my friend. Take off. Let us know how you do on that. I think you're going to do very well on that. Thank you, my friend. Love to you, Andy. Good man. Well, I want to get this cancer video. I have a question. My brother has had bad skin all his life. My mom had dermatitis when she was pregnant with him, and he's had eczema all his life and has been told it's in his blood. I know. It's in his blood. Poor guy. There's nothing you can do about it then. We lived abroad when he was young, and I think being in the sun, it almost cleared up. How interesting. As soon as we came back to the UK, I talked to London this morning. It's always so itchy for him all the time, and as far as I know, he has always been given cream for eczema. I bet. Glow in Jimber. Glow in Jimber. Huh. Interesting name. Well, the skin is your third kidney. And when you have skin problems, you know that your lymph system's backed up. It's that simple. And, of course, look at Mom. So, obviously, when your bro was being developed in Mom, that basically her lymph system became his lymph system, blah, 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 blah. So he's got a lot of lymph work, clean that lymph system out, get those kidneys and adrenals. It's going to go back to that. Get those kidneys and adrenals up, get them filtering, and the skin will come clean. And the mother sounds like she needs to do it too. But it does show you the genetics there in terms of kidneys and adrenals and what it does to the lymph system. What it does. Too much. If I start rattling off and going off, it's okay. You guys take over. Just put me in some place on the beach, white sand beaches, blue skies, coconut trees hanging over, and grape orchard in the back. Oh, gotta have the banana trees. I gotta have the mango trees, and wait, I gotta have orange trees. Yeah, now we're good. You like it when I have a rant? This is going into. I'm sorry. You know what? it's and you guys are you're the new world, and the problem is all the stuff that comes to you is really going to tear at your heartstrings. Especially most of you, I feel your hearts, and it's a tug. It's a tug. Wonder-wise, I remember how her heart is so very sensitive woman, and I hope she comes back because I love sensitive people like that. These are good spiritual people that have to get a little strong to where you don't let anything bother you and you keep your heart open at the same time. That's the trick, is don't let people tear you, and be strong and open your heart. All of us have that to deal with here. So many different levels at this level. I love the eye wash. You like the eye wash? Isn't that good? I love that eye wash. I can't tell you the benefits that I've had using this eye wash. I think I'm a good herbalist. I just, I just loved herbs so much, and I think I've put together some good formulas. I just love them. I can't wait till I'm ready to do the weeks 1 and 2. Ooh. You think the eye wash was good, meaning I want to go raw at least 30 days before doing the detox. It's a good idea. Also, Dr. Morse, I see the course is 12 weeks. It can be whatever you want. That's just what we use for pharmacies or health food stores, which not too many health food stores carry our herbs. They didn't like the God's Herbs name. Now, we were this close getting into Tree of Life. We were all ready to sign the papers and everything, but they wanted us to give them like $50,000 worth, and then they pay me back when they sell them, and then they'll start ordering. Depending, it's like, who's got $50,000? They can just give you the hold for nothing. It's like, I couldn't do it. Didn't have the money. We were just struggling, but we would have been real busy then. But it is what it is. Meaning, I want to go, well, good. I see the course is 12 weeks. Should I follow the weeks? No, let us design you a course. Wait, she's designing them good. So I really don't have any known illness. Good, then just go for getting your body healthy and clean it out. Go for that glow. Dr. Morse is wearing the robe. Nice. Yes, I'm doing. Where did my water go? I kind of screwed up today with the tea, but my nerves are on end. So many things going on. Blue light therapy. Quick question for you regarding blue light therapy for acne and scarring. I can't say. I'm not privy to that. I like to go to the cause of the problem, address the cause. Smarter, you don't know what far-reaching effects of that is. Don't like that. That's ridiculous. Detox, detox, detox. You got to move your lymph anyway because it's skin today, could be brain tumor tomorrow. Don't play around with the lymph system like that. Lights and cameras in action and all these machines and stuff. You physically roll up your sleeves and get your lymph cleaned out, get your kidneys and your adrenals up. For what all this means to what your future might bring. That's why don't take lymph lightly. That's very serious. I take acids very serious. A lot of people not living anymore because of the word acids. Scarring will eat itself up in time, no question. Make sure the parathyroid is up, everything's good. What is about it, and is it safe? I can't tell you. Are there any long-term effects? I'll say this, Spark, I don't trust anything but the Supreme Being. I don't trust anything but nature. I don't like man's machines. They're isolating of magnetics. That all scares me because one day everything's great. This thing's a cure-all. This thing works, and the next day it causes cancer. I don't play that game. I don't play in that world anymore. Not worth it. And if I hurt somebody, my heart drops down to my feet, and I'm just not going there. As a healer, my love is for you guys and your wellness, and we just need to roll up the sleeves the old-fashioned way. You need to eat frugivorish anyway. We're frugivores, so we really need to start in that process. Maybe not this lifetime, but down the road, Homo sapiens will grow into who they really are. They're Alona Lada. There's another Alona Lada. For the person who has the bone spur, try a brand. For the person who has the bone spur, try a brand Oh, yeah. Plenty of good shoes out there to do that. But then internally move that lymph, get the body to absorb that bone spur back into that heel or wherever it is, or spine or wherever, and go that route. But yeah, a lot of good shoes. I have to keep this one in mind. Ortho heel or ortho feet. And getting after my lymph and bowels is also working. Go, baby, go. Went from not walking to without severe limp to normal and hardly any pain anymore, just sometimes when I'm on the feet for a couple of hours. You rock, Alona Lotta. You rock. Kick butt. You guys are kicking butt. I love it. So world, pay attention. This is how you do it. And you guys are a prime example of how you do it. I'm real proud of every one of you. Hi, Dr. Morris, would you consider offering gift certificates? Yeah, ask Jennifer for that. She makes up gift certificates. And keep going, Alona Lotta. You're kicking the butt. You changed your name. Glowing Ember. Change your name again, Annie. I tell you what. You were fruits, berries, and melons. You're a sweetheart. By the way, over 20-month-old Black Lab is doing great on the eye wash. Perfect. And he doesn't seem to mind too much. I love labs anyway. Those are the sweethearts about being squirted in the eye with it. And we also use it in between to bathe his eyes. I tried it also and felt my eyes cleaner. Oh, don't you though? Yeah, you really feel like you have clean eyes. I'm going to get this cancer video. I got to see if she's got that. Skin issues are just a sign of a deeper acid forms. Absolutely. Go, monkey demons. Got it. You guys are getting it. What should I do if I have stuttering problems and say, too much? I try not to do that. I learned that years ago in public speaking, because we would monitor each other, and when we go like this, or we go like this, or we go too much. So I'm not sure. But you know what? Get after that. If you have a stuttering problem, Arnold Ehret offered a classic case, and I love this, on a great fast. This guy that stuttered got this big, I coughed up a big wad of mucus and never stuttered again. I love that testimony. So, yeah. What should I do if I have, this is the same thing. Same one. Okay, my friend. Detox. Get a book on Arnold Ehret. It's called The Mucus Diet Healing System, or Rational Fasting. And read about those incredible stories of stuttering and stuff, my friend, and you'll be okay. Be okay. Get your kidneys, get your lymph moving, get your adrenals up, increase your neurological system, and you'll all be good. Okay. This is Dano. Dr. Morris has been using your detox kits 1 and 2 and still on the all-fruit diet, a lot of grapes and melons. I just ordered your brain and nerve. That's a good one. An upper circ to get some blood in the head area. Good choice. I feel my neck and spine slowly unwinding. It feels like it's being broken out of cement. The stiffness is starting to unwind. Go, Dano, go. You're another butt-kicking guy, dude. You are something else. Real proud of you, man. You're real proud of you. That's how you do it. You guys are all doing the do. It's just a privilege to work with so many of you here like this and seeing this happen. I've seen this in my clinic every day for 40 years, and you guys are seeing this, and this is what we're all about, and we're a team, and I love that. And I tell you, we have thousands and thousands of my clients worldwide that have experienced this and now are a part of a big family of healed and cured people, and many have become healers, and you all are healers. So this is just our plan is unfolding. This is my tooth that had a root canal 5 years ago. It's very tender and swollen now since on the raw fruits. Well, thanks Tina. Yeah, I mean, this again, part of the detox again. This can really bring up old haunts, bring up toxicities that are lying there waiting. But that's the nice thing. It's lying waiting, and now it's being yanked out and cleaned so regeneration can take place. You are sweethearts. Thank you so much. I want to start this cancer video. If I got this new camera, we'll check on it. But I humbly thank you. And you're doing so marvelous, darlings. Keep it up. I'm here for you always. Sometimes I'm at a fast pace, so I apologize for that. But I'm still seeing people, pretty much till 6 o'clock every night. And, it's hard to cram a lot of this in, but we're working it. I would like to take some time off sometime. It's been 40 years of pumping it out there. And there's times I've had to work other places, but like in hospitals and stuff. But it brought me a lot of awareness, and it has helped for me to communicate to you. So it's all good. You're all good, and we'll see you soon. So thank you very much for all your questions, and thank you for putting up with me. I resubmit your questions if I did not get to them from the past. There were so many I had to just stop and change focus a little bit. So sorry about that, but have fun. Love you. Barak Bashami. The blessings be. Bye-bye.